Yes, sir. What's the word, my brother Razor?
Another warm day in California, my friend.
Yes, sir, man. It's positive vibes out here. It's Puerto Rican Day weekend. We had the Puerto Rican Day festival yesterday and the Puerto Rican Day parade today. It's been a lot going on. You know what I'm saying? We had NXT Battleground on tonight, NBA Finals on tonight at the same time. So my devices were working. Let's get I want to talk about before we get into the whole rundown and recap. Like, I kind of want to sidebar some of the stuff that we was talking about beforehand. Like, you know what I'm saying? In terms of Obafemi, I don't really like. I know it's probably one for you to probably talk about it again, but just to get the people the insight of what we was talking about. I was just saying, how do you guys feel out there in the chat? My opinion were that Obafemi, he's recognized, sure, but I don't think people are talk about his meteoric rise as you know what I'm saying, as they should. Like, he's homegrown, and honestly, in the last, I want to say 6 months, like his rise has been crazy, winning that breakout tournament, then capturing the North American championship. That was
Just running
special.
with it.
Yeah, and tonight Kalani Jordan did the same. So it's really dope to see that that means something in NXT too. That breakout, like, that's something to watch for. That's like, remember you were going to how NXT is real because their development got a development, and I'm saying there like, yeah, double A, triple A, and then the majors. And that breakout system, I kind of enjoy that because what you can do from that is really like, all right, these are the crop. Obviously, like you said, they signing these NIL guys. And you know what I'm saying? Most of these talent, they're fresh. They might not have a wrestling background. So, but they're athletic freaks. You have
Yes,
this
sir.
tournament. And now from this tournament, you see, okay, maybe we could put this guy straight to regular NXT, but they might need some work on level up. I really like I like where NXT has fucking grown. I'm gonna say that. Sean, Triple H, which I did with that baby right there. The very first episode I watched of NXT was pure bullshit. A fucking game show. Laughable to say the least. That shit was like a laughing stock. Sure, we got some superstars. We got Brian Danielson, Wade Barrett, Darren Young,
Bray
you know,
Wyatt.
Bray Wyatt. We had a lot of crop. Even Naomi in about season 3. Y'all get my point, right? But the shit they had to endure and go throughout them years was like, imagine the character development that could have been in those wasted years. Huh. Oof. Oof.
And even rewind the tape before that, it was formerly tough enough.
Tough enough. Yeah, because I feel like the OVW system was they were breeding talent as well. Like, I can't go back and watch the matches to say, oh, but the talent that were coming up from there as well. They'll send talent that's coming off of injuries to go down there and rehabilitate. So, like you said, Tough Enough was a flawed system too. Reality TV show. Guys don't really have no intent to really do anything with them other than, okay, we get a winner, put them on TV for a few weeks, and let this contract run out. Up until
Well,
like Miz
it
was
did
like the
give us the
only exception.
Miz.
Yeah, Miz
Yeah.
was like the only exception. John Morrison coming from that same season and him being able to work, I thought it was phenomenal for him. Like, that was dope. Sonya Deville came from Tough Enough. Whatever happened to the big Yeet guy, the you remember the guy that he won that season that I mentioned it with Sonya Deville on it. The big tall blonde dude. He had a few matches in NXT and it was over for him.
Oh, no. That's Luchasaurus or Killshot. Believe it or
No,
not.
no shit.
Uh-huh.
That's the dude from Tough Enough?
Yeah.
No way.
Check the tattoos.
That's that's tough. That's the one that used to, because I know. No, I might be thinking of the other season because there was one. I would have to look it up.
I'm
But
pretty sure those two were in the same season.
yeah, that's crazy. Oh yeah. Oh the Josh dude. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
Josh Brady. Yeah, yeah. They ain't do nothing with him at NXT. Like that's crazy. And I'm not gonna lie, AEW has done stuff with him, but that gimmick, that joint, I'm not gonna lie, it had potential, but it's run its course.
Yep.
Unless he and I always compared him to a Kane, like his the way he comes out with the mask, his stature, the choke slam. Even now they got the hellfire and brimstone. He
Yep.
just needs to go to red and he's like a Kane. You know what I'm saying? He is athletic as shit, but tough enough winner for season 6, Sarah Lee.
That didn't sound familiar.
She had passed away, so
Yeah.
unfortunate for her. Andy Levine, winner of season 5, 2011 winner. Man, yeah. So that system was flawed. So it's definitely great to see what. Oh, so John Morrison was actually the winner of that season,
Yeah.
but Miz was in there though with him, right?
Uh, were they the same season? I don't. I
Because
don't
I
recall.
don't even
No,
see the Miz here as a winner.
he might have been on an earlier one or a later one.
Oh yeah, Miz was a runner up and signed in '06. But yeah, y'all get the point. Fuck it. NXT has come a long, long way to the point that I feel like it's now that we getting almost monthly PLEs from them, right?
Just about
He started off with about what was it?
one every 3-4 months,
One every 3 or 4 months. Usually
and
the
those are the
first,
takeovers.
yeah, those would be around
WrestleMania, you get
yep,
WrestleMania, Rumble, maybe SummerSlam.
the big four surrounded around the big four major pay-per-views for the main roster. How'd you feel about them starting off with the ladder match, the women's ladder match for the newly announced
I thought
Women's
that was the
North
right
American
move.
Championship? It was a hot match to start off with.
Yeah, that was definitely the right move to do because you had to get the crowd hot, fired away. If you had you gone any other, I mean, you could have gone with the open family match, but no, this one was perfect. And
But
that spot by Lash at the very end, oof.
I felt like she had a
That
lot of good spots in this match. You know, I got disappointed because I had her going in as my winner, but she walked. Did she even walk out, folks? If y'all saw that spot, did she
ah,
walk out?
they showed everybody but her at the end.
No, it was a phenomenal match by the ladies. That sleeper spot that they did, you know, that's probably nothing new to you guys. We've all seen these double, triple, quadruple spots and stuff like that, right? But it happened so clean. Like, I'm gonna be honest with you.
It
To
was a
me, it
testament to her strength too.
and to Kalani's hops, like the way she'll just blink, get on the top, right on the top of who was it? Fallon? Was it Fallon? I believe that
Mm.
jumped on Lash. Because
Wasn't Meechin
Lash had Meechin in the bottom.
right?
And then I think Fallon Henry jumped on Lash Legend. And then Kalani was the last one. That's why I was like that little hop she did, like it didn't look like nothing because she did it so effortlessly.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm pretty sure like that's even tough for a lot of superstars to just nail that cleanly without sliding off, without
No
they just
stumble, no
nope,
nothing.
clean
Just
landing.
one fluid motion, just boom.
One, yes, yes. So I thought that was great, even to the part where she did it again. So you know it wasn't fluky because Last Legend, she throws Meechin because Meechin sells this very well where she got put into sleep and it looked like boy she got put out like her body went lifeless. You know what I'm saying? So Last Legend just lets her go, gets up, shows her display of strength, drives these ladies back to the turnbuckle in the corner. Kalani She takes most of the impact as she was drove to the turnbuckle. She falls off. Fallon Henry's like, nah, I'm staying on. So as she does that, I believe I couldn't tell who was climbing on the other side. It might have been Soul. Might have been Soul climbing the ladder on the other side. And then Lash Legend, she starts to climb the ladder with Fallon Henry on top of her. And then here comes Kalani again. I was like, yo, I knew Lash was
They,
strong, but that was a great spot for her right there. The good old term, make her look strong. Make her look strong.
Can we say this is the best women's ladder match WWE's ever had?
For me, I can say that all the components fit. Maybe
this
if I could nitpick,
this will seem cleaner. Everyone kind of had more confidence in what they were doing, and again, for more aesthetic purposes, no one really struggled to get a ladder in the ring.
I mean, one could argue if you want to nitpick, maybe you can change Meechin as a participant, but maybe you don't. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you could keep her. That's a debatable one right there. I feel like if you're gonna have Jordan,
she was the only one with ladder match experience. If you think about it,
and she sold that point well. Yeah,
because she's had Money in the Bank matches and all that stuff.
Yeah, because most of these ladies are fairly new. I would look at her like she's the more seasoned veteran in this matchup right here. So I could see them putting her in this match. But again, if Jordan's the one that's gonna be going over, I don't think you switch Meechin. It doesn't really matter because she played her role in the match very well. So I'm happy with that match. I'm happy with how it turned out.
Very.
You called it split right before the match started. That music got you.
That crowd had a different reaction to it too. So they saw who they wanted, and HBK said, "All right, we're going with that one."
Definitely something special happening in here.
But again, real quick, like we touched on this earlier, but between the main roster and NXT, how deep is this roster? I think
it's
we need
so deep that we split it up sometimes. I feel like we don't even consider the NXT.
We need Evolution 2 again. It's time to reopen those discussions.
Oh hell yeah! Look, I feel this way. Like the WWE audience as a whole, like a casual. I'm speaking about not the hardcore viewers that watch probably 10 hours of WWE programming a week. Not talking about those. I'm just talking about the ones that might catch one show a week, a Raw, and they might not even catch the Smack, or vice versa. If they open their eyes to watching the full product, it's gonna be beautiful, man. Because the thing is, it's excluded. I feel like NXT is still excluded in the fact that when we bring up some of these stars, the crowd just don't know them, and if they don't know them, it's because they're not watching the product. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that, and also, again, no fault to the current NXT. They're always going to compare to the original Black and Gold. That first crop of guys that got called up. And that's not fair to the guys that we have there today.
And then maybe perhaps even the way that they actually split up their roster, and our knowledge, knowing that there's a main roster and an NXT roster, and then when they get fired, there's an actual 90-day compete clause versus a 30-day. I think people really look at NXT roster like the minor leagues, like you're saying, the development. So even though they're signed to WWE, and some people might not be reminded that this is a whole fucking roster, like you said. We can have legends, Raw and SmackDown, NXT, TNA even, all on one show. And that's what the crop that's out right now. We're not even talking about a hurt Rhea Ripley, hurt Charlotte. You know what I'm saying? Asuka, if she's still hurt.
Becky Lynch, take a time off. Shotzi Blackheart.
Yeah, that's without them right now. And from what it seems like, we could probably be getting Rhea soon.
And again, if she's game for it, I wouldn't be mad at seeing Rhea Ripley versus Gail Kim.
That'd be
That
a
could main event
nice
anything.
legendary, yeah, nice legendary matchup for Rhea Ripley. I feel like she's been running through a lot of these women, and another big name wouldn't be bad. A great match wouldn't be bad to add to the list. You know what I'm saying?
We could be seeing Rhea Ripley versus Jordan Grace somewhere down the road.
That would be crazy. That would be crazy right there. The next match of the night though, it kind of bothered me a little bit selfishly. Gallows and Anderson versus Axiom and Nathan Frazier. Now, I think we at that part in certain of our favorite wrestlers' careers where we kind of know they're gonna put other talent over. And if they might sneak in that occasional win. But it's seeming like when the title's on the line, I think maybe the only surprise might have been Baron Corbin and Braun winning
Braun,
winning the championships for me. But I felt like the OC, if you really want to, again though, it's a different audience, different programming. So not necessarily saying what they do on NXT can translate, but it can if they go on to SmackDown holding the tag team championships. You know, it could probably do something for the OC. It could probably do something going into that match for AJ Styles and Cody. Like, look, we got the belts. You know what I'm saying? Like, even and then you make them lose it on the NXT after Clash. You know what I'm saying? To not let them hold the belts for too long, but you could create a little something there.
or we've had NXT Gold defended at a WrestleMania before, so why not do that for another one of the big four as well?
The New Day done went down to NXT and captured the NXT championships. Now the arguments can be made which tag team is better. That's for another day. Both tag teams are very decorated though. One in more in Japan, obviously. New Day in WWE. So I don't know. How'd you feel? I feel like with that being said though, Axiom and Frazier, they put on a hell of a performance. I just felt like for them, they absorbed too much damage from the OC. Like I didn't really see why the OC had to bust out like 3 of their finishers to still lose against these guys. That's the part
Well,
that bothered me.
it definitely felt like it was more drug out, so you could have shaved a couple minutes off of it and would have been just fine. That's probably what it was more than anything, but thought the match was all right. I mean, I don't see what folks see in Nathan Frazier. He just seems like a carbon copy of Seth Rollins to me.
I don't see nothing in both of them, honestly. Like, yes, they got great moves.
It's the
And
exact same movement to the motion.
for somebody with a mask, Axiom has to be like, I don't understand him. You know what I'm saying? In terms of like, I don't understand what his identity is supposed to be. Like, I'm not sold on what Axiom is.
It's supposed to be like a cartoon hero kind of life, like a PG version of what TNT did with Suicide back in the day or whatever, but they kind of dropped that or gave up on it. And it's just the guy with the mask trying to do the lucha stuff.
That's crazy. Yeah. I mean, I guess that's his identity. Axiom and Frazier win the match after taking an array of the OC's finishes. I could see one of them. The one of them, when Nathan Frazier made that save, I was like, okay. After the last one, though, I was like, nah, this is too much, man. I was like, come on.
Yeah.
The next match after that, this one here, I think we got shit to say about this one. Um, NXT decides to bring back Underground once again. This time, I'm not sure if they've done this before, but this time in front of the live audience that's there, using the same ring that's being used for the whole night. Um, Historically, this would be like a backstage segment, an underground match. They doing it live. They had the wrestlers at ringside, like a lumberjack match, hyping the match up. That's not nothing new. That's typically part of underground standards right there. To have people surrounding the ropeless rings. Um, the participants: Shayna Baszler, Lola Vice. I felt like the components made sense. Lola Vice's character is a bit random for me. Like she's like a happy MMA fighter. You know what I'm saying? Like she come out wearing the vibrant colors. As to like what we seen a Ronda Rousey, she was a face, but she came out with the Piper shit. You know, Baszler got like a different giddy up. Lola Vice, she dresses like a traditional wrestler. Today she had her hair up and all that different look. How'd you feel, man? Give me your straight thoughts. Straight thoughts. Off the head.
Well, first off, I'm gonna get a little bit closer to the mic like you was doing, so they can feel the pain in our voices, respectively. But out the gates, for a match like this, much like the street fights of old, it's the attention to detail. In certain fights, you want to be in your not so traditional garb. So in this case, you could have had him in like sparring gear, and again, they could have kept their gis on. You could have did the street fight route, have them just wear t-shirts and jeans or whatever with their boots, knee pads or whatever. It's fine. And then obviously the MMA gloves, which they had. The moment they stepped out of the ring, it just felt like a wash after that. Nothing. You could have kept a special, keep it in the ring or whatever, keep it like an actual one-on-one fight, which is what it rightfully should be. It should be its own division, its own respective style, and you have it on certain markets at your leisure. Don't make it seem like everything else, because that's how you ruin what could be a good thing, and you're leaving money on the table.
I think they the second they went to the outside to the ring, I seen that. I felt like that was the inevitable, right? Like there was gonna be a spot where they fell outside of the ring. Okay, now once that spot happened, the part that I don't understand it or like I really don't enjoy is why Shayna Baszler gotta attack these random people that's standing by ringside. You know, it just and then it leads into the other moments that turn into the foolery. You know what I'm saying? I feel like all right, they if you're gonna have them go to the outside, still have them continue the chaos in the way that it was in the ring, but then they have to find way back to the ring. You know what I'm saying? Whether it's one of them throwing back in and then dead that outside moment. But to start incorporating more of the out the ring antics, yeah, I agree with you. I wasn't a fan of that. Um, it ultimately led into Shayna Baszler being driven into the steps at ringside. You see, like personally, I like the spot they did with her running into the turnbuckle, right? Like me personally, if I'm doing this, I'm saving the turnbuckle spot for. I'll swap the turnbuckle spot for the steps, have her back fist, drop the elbows, and she's completely done.
But given the nature of this match, you go to the turnbuckle, then you go right to the ending, flash finish,
Yep,
wham bam, thank you, ma'am.
yep. That's how I would have did it. The steel steps, it wasn't needed, especially after the turnbuckle spot already took place. Because then it leads to my grievance with the whole way that the shit was sold at the end. Like I get what Shayna tried to do. I've seen fighters, you know, they get they get knocked out while being conscious, like you know what I'm saying. But they're like just reaching, grabbing for stuff. But she held on to the ref's leg a little too long, in my opinion. And then like the face she made after it was kind of like cringy too, like you know what I'm saying. And then
Yeah.
you have no team with you, right? Like you know how in fights you'll have like, okay, you got your workout team.
Everyone has their own camp.
Yeah, their camp. You know what I'm saying? You you not having a camp there either. It just it lessened the feel for me. You know what I'm saying? Because we know well, what I feel like the incentive finish was to make this feel like a UFC fight, a UFC finish, a MMA finish, to say the least. And yeah, it just felt cringy. I would prefer for you want to make Lola Vice look strong, you make her put Shayna Baszler out, lights out. Even if you want to do the lights are on but nobody's home, if you want to add that little aspect of like comedic relief, why couldn't we get Shayna with her eyes cocked? Why, you know what I'm saying? Like Vince McMahon when he would take a stunner, like he's like
Just seeing stars.
seeing stars. You know what I'm saying? I'd prefer that. That whole little angle right there grabbing the legs. I wasn't a fan of.
But now, were you a fan of Lola winning overall?
Um, See, this is again where I feel like I don't know if I look into the predictability side where I felt like okay, they're using Shayna Baszler on NXT, so and then who she's going against, Lola Vice. They obviously had Lola Vice in that little push mode. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, what's the chances that they're gonna have Shayna come in here and just straight bulldoze Lola Vice? And then the more they started sprinkling in her backstory, oh, top prospect MMA, I was like, oh yeah, they positioning her in a spot where if she wins the match, nobody could really complain.
But a lot of folks wanted Shayna to win. I found that interesting on the internet.
I feel like her presentation tonight, like Shayna, I was surprised. I was like, oh, she some new gear. Like this look fire for her. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, whoa. Like this, that might be the look she's been missing this whole time. Cause I'm not saying like it's just a presentation, like we always talk about. She came out there looking like a star. You know what I'm saying? Some people may have felt like she should have been the one to win. I wouldn't have been mad if she have won either because it builds more credibility for her as a contender for the tag team championships.
This was the woman that ran roughshod for that division for years.
Yeah,
Longest reigning NXT Women's Champion. That is her domain. The only other person who can take to claim over there would be Asuka.
exactly.
But aside from Asuka, Shayna runs NXT. So everyone was hoping that she was going to get back to where she was. Would have been nice and all of that. But again, I'm not mad at the finish. It's just I would have done it a completely different way.
I definitely. So you would have had Shane. So would you have had Shayna win?
Oh, it wouldn't make a difference who won. It's just there's about half the stuff that they did I could have did without. Like I said,
It's like if they do some fucking like if WWE decides they want to go back to the old days and remember when they had Bart Gunn versus Butterbean and shit like that. Like, imagine if they do a boxing match and have it come to like a fucking judge's decision. Some fucking like, come on, man. At least give us the more believe, like the let him tap him, let him make some contact and sell this shit. Sell it, you know?
What they attempted today was what Josh Barnett does periodically in his Bloodsport.
Bloodsport.
This is what that attempt was with their little twist on it.
The spinning back fist, it didn't look bad to me. I thought Lola executed that well. The camera angle was a good camera angle, even down to when she dropped the elbows to finish. I seen like, okay, I see this. This is gonna be the end of the match right here. Even the ref coming in to stop the match, I felt like it was done a little bit too quick. Also, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we need a little bit of Mario Yamagata out there. We need him to be smacked for a second and you know what I'm saying? Hop in a little late.
Do a Herb Dean and wait about 2 minutes.
Yeah,
wait till they start spazzing out. Then all right, I think they're done.
You feel me? Pull a Herb real quick. The ref stepped in for the finish kind of quick too. I don't know if I might be dissecting that wrong. Like maybe you let her get a few more blows. But again, if the finish is gonna be that her grabbing the leg, like I guess like it wasn't designed for her to get more blows off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It just is what it is. I thought aside from all the shenanigans, I thought with the participants, with what they were given, they did their best to do what they can up until the finish line. You know what I'm saying? At the finish line, maybe I don't know who came up with that shit. Maybe Shayna did. You know what I'm saying? Maybe she thought it'd be a, but it just didn't. It didn't come across well on camera for me.
But again, there's potential. There's just if you're gonna do it, let Josh Barnett run it. He'll show you how it's done.
With that being said, would you ever be in favor of seeing another one on a PLE, or do you think they should just chill out with the NXT Underground stuff and cool the Jets
You,
on that?
you gotta find the right individuals that are accepting of that level of physicality of what it could be.
I feel like you could put a John Moxley in that type of match. Like these
Well,
guys
yeah,
that. Mhm.
yeah, Moxley, yes, and Eddie Kingston, Mike Santana. Uh, you can also argue Ilya or Gunter, but just select guys that welcome that physicality, welcome that unbridled violence. Just two guys just going shot for shot. May the best man win.
Cause I like the fact that in NXT they make it a stipulation rather than a portion of the show. Like seeing it as a portion of the show back when they did it on Raw was kind of cringy to me, especially since it took up the last hour of Raw. It was just like, yeah, it's time to go, right?
Well, again, like for certain individuals, it could have worked. You don't just throw anybody there in that type of environment. For example, I can see Hook doing that down the road, and I see that being his gimmick for a year or two.
That wouldn't be bad either, though. Like if they really choose to bring back that on like a weekly or bi-weekly basis, I could see him as a mainstay. Like that's how we see him at first. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how we get looks of him in just underground matches.
And then you could do similar to what they're doing with WWE Speed right now. You just have some matches in the can. You just release them little by little in episodic increments on Twitter, Instagram, whatever. And then you
Yeah.
just start growing from those audiences as well. It don't got to be a whole 2 3 hour show. It's just 2 3 matches every couple of days or every week or so.
Oh yeah, they see now if you're gonna sprinkle it in like that, yeah, because that's more ways for you to like play around with it in terms of, like you said, this can be done on social media and then on NXT programming. Oh yeah, this week on WWE Twitter, you just see,
As as seen on this day, we saw this so and so dominate, beat up so and so.
yeah, just give it a little quick look, real quick. I'm not mad at that. The next match of the night though, I think I know you said which one stole the match of the night for you. But for me, I think this one might be close to match of the night for me. Joe Coffey, Obafemi, and Wesley. I,
Yeah, I can see that as well.
I think for me, like, I got to see. We already know what Wesley's about. Some people are familiar with Joe Coffey. Obafemi's getting his luck out there. I think these three gentlemen did a good job with what they were given as well. Triple threat match. Um, triple threat matches could be clunky sometimes, depending who you put in those. Like, you know what I'm saying? They didn't really have they had spots where Oba is attacking both dudes, but it wasn't like I didn't get the vibe like it was John Cena s like, oh, put two dudes on my shoulder, and like he was more like, oh,
Well,
I gotta fend these guys off, like,
I
you know
mean
what I'm saying?
that's kind of a bad comparison because when you look at a guy like Obafemi who absolutely towers over both of them, you can get away with that stuff because again, you expect that of him. Just this big monster. I mean, for crying out loud, he launched Wes 3 quarters in the ring through Joe Coffey from the second rope
Mm-hmm.
like a lawn
Crazy,
dart.
crazy, showing
And
the
then
power, showing the strength. Even though, like
later
you
in the
said, these are
match,
smaller guys, but
but then that pop up power bomb to Coffee, who is no tiny man at all. They made that look like he was a feather.
Yeah, I was impressed by that one, and even just him catching Wesley though, like him and Wesley had like a again clean landing, boom. It wasn't no wobble, no nothing. It was straight
Hmm.
clean landing, and then got to the power bomb. I was like, damn, that was a beautiful finish to the end of the match right there. Especially with like, I didn't really feel like I get why Gallus threw in the distraction. Two of them, and I felt like it wasn't needed after Oba took them out initially. I think we could have went with the end of the match, but they continued to go on and let West get some shit off. You know what I'm saying? Before he ultimately lost position and lost control of the match right there. So it was a great match to me though. I felt like you said you had Wesley winning, right? That
Yeah, only because it would have been nice to see them again further with that TNA influx guys coming in. Bring back Nash Carter, bring in Trey Miguel, reunite the Rascals. Again, it's in Vegas.
who's
Vegas
the
lately has,
longest reigning NXT North American champion? Might Carmelo maybe.
I want to say yes.
I think Obafemi's gonna break that record.
Gunther just had the NXT title, not the North American, right?
I believe so, but yes,
Okay,
because he went straight from the UK one to after.
that's right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So yeah, so like definitely Mello. Yeah, I can see Obafemi breaking that because he's at a he's gaining this much steam and just catching up so fast to where he's earning it, and also there's a lot of guys aren't quite there that this is how they could probably better themselves. Again, we see Wesley getting back to groove. We have Joe Coffey as trying to ascend himself from past European glories. Let's see who else could you throw in there.
I feel like that title hasn't had no real identity too, aside from Wesley holding the belt. Um, Carmelo from time to time, but historically it'd be like that. That belt has been in recent years has been like whoever gains is just holding the belt. In my opinion, you know what I'm saying? Um, we had reports that Mustafa Ali was supposed to challenge for that championship and then gets fired. He was supposed to have a run with that and then ask for his release and they let him go. And it's a lot with that championship. So right now, I feel like the prestige is being upped. I feel like the prestige is definitely being upped. I feel like it's one of those championships like what Gunther did for the Intercontinental, like emphasize the heavyweight in it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like guys like Wesley can challenge, but just know that it's gonna be a big challenge right now.
I'm just curious as to who else they can possibly find. I mean, anyone who's not Zilla Fatu
What to end that streak from him right there?
to even challenge them.
Challenge him.
Again, it's not a NXT lately. They're deeper in the women than they're in the men right now.
Would you want to see a world where Moose challenges him?
I want to see Moose versus. I mean, no, Moose versus Trick. Moose could probably
Okay.
make it work with Obafemi.
But
With
there's more money
Obafemi,
with Trick.
he can get more mileage out of him because again they're similar size and style. Moose could try to
Gonna
show the
lie.
ropes how to move as a big guy without much athleticism.
Trick is athletic too. Like he got some hops on him too. Like they could really
I
make some things happen.
I wouldn't mind seeing Obafemi throw down with the Eddie Edwards. Eddie can get that barbaric animalistic killer instinct out of him.
Mm, okay. That is the character development too that we need from Oba. Like we was just saying too, before on the pre-show, he got that tweener thing where like I feel like he's presented as a heel, like nobody mess, kind of like a Gunther, right? And the crowd is taking a liking to him. So we're not sure where he stands right now. It'll be good to see some character development and see, more of a clear side from him going forward. But we
How
do
can
know
we
that he
set
is serious.
How can we separate him from the pack of the other big men that are already in the main roster right now?
Correct. Because that's the unfortunate truth. If we bring him up right now, current day, okay, you're big.
You have Braun, you have Gunter, you have Bronson,
Drew McIntyre's a Claymore away from sending you back to NXT.
you have Omos, you have Otis.
Like, nah, yeah, you gotta bring something to the table. You know what I'm saying? Like, they just got Bobby Lashley on SmackDown chilling, waiting for a moment like Oba. Like, let's work, let's something. You know what I'm saying? Like,
You got Ivar too.
but nah, that would I think Oba versus Omos would be interesting. Like, you
No,
just show you got Omos one night talking his shit, open challenge shit, and then Oba just come
no,
through and demolishes him.
no.
If he could toss around Omos, that would be impressive. That'd be crazy.
Were we intrigued by Undertaker versus Great Khali?
Nah, and even when Brock went with
Okay,
Omos, it wasn't
this
nothing.
this will be no different.
But you know what I was
Unfortunately,
impressed with? Goldberg jackhammering the Giant.
well, yeah, because he's strong as a fucking ox.
Like if you tell me he just sit there and do some crazy shit to Omos, he has a look. I'm not saying it's gonna be a 5-star match. All we need is a moment, right, for a highlight reel, a highlight package. Him doing because, like you said, to your point, we seeing him with the smaller guys. We know he could work well with the smaller guys.
And that's the problem right there because Obafemi's big ass. He'll probably see Omos. His stupid probably think he can hit him with the Spanish Fly, break both their necks.
Man, with that match concluding, Obafemi, as we said, had both those power bombs, and who took the fall? Was it? It was Coffee, right? Coffee took the pinfall, and I believe that's why Gallus is on his ass later on after the match concluded. You know what I'm saying?
Him and West did have luck activated, and they both gave each other that this ain't over.
Yeah, so I feel like we're gonna see something right there. I think that rivalry is gonna be dope and special right there. Like they're gonna work some magic in the ring right there.
Yeah, you can never go wrong with the David versus Goliath story.
Man, Coffee and Wesley. Like Wesley's the ultimate salesman. I'm not gonna lie. Like that moment when I text y'all and I said, "Yo, I thought it was certainly over for him, bro." He looked like he just got decapitated in a human car crash, like in a human walking car. Like if people could be cars, Joe Coffey was like a mini walking Mack truck in that moment.
Okay, so can we take a minor segue real quick?
Oh yeah,
I called it with Ricochet.
yeah. I wanted to give you your flowers on that. I'm glad you said that. You've been singing that song for the last few weeks, and then reports came out. You know what I'm saying?
And again, nothing against Ricochet. Whether it's there, he goes to Mexico, Japan, whatever, he's gonna do his thing. If he goes over there, he'll get a nice chunk of change for a couple years. He'll be right back. It'll be like nothing ever happened.
Does Samantha Irvin leave with him?
She's one of the hottest things WWE has. She ain't going nowhere.
Mm.
Think about it. She is like, aside from Michael Cole, she is the voice of the WWE right now, present day.
They're gonna have to throw her that bag because history says Brandy left with Cody, even though she got fired though, right? Brandy got fired. I can't remember what Brandy.
I think her contract ran out first or something like that.
Okay, and then there was another example I had wanted to bring up. Oh, Renee Young, Renee Paquette.
I think she asked for her release.
She went and slid with her husband, even though it took time. She didn't right away go with him. She did podcast work on the side, so I ain't gonna act like she just up and dipped and left with him. But Brandy was definitely side by side with Cody everywhere he went.
But this is gonna be interesting.
I mean, like, yo, think about it. If Ricochet has his own personal ring announcer, which is his wifey, and she's fire on the stick. That'll probably like he's already nice, bro. That shit, and then like yeah, we hear her say his name on WWE, but when she's given free reign to say whatever and however his name should be said, I think it'll be crazy. Like you said, King Rick. What? What? She'll go wild with that one. That should be
But
crazy.
at that point, you may as well just turn her into like a valet
That's what I'm going with it. Yeah, she'll be his personal ring valet announcer.
and call herself what? Queen Samantha? That could work. But again, she knows that again, you have like Michael Cole, Samantha Irvin, those are
Oh
the
no,
key
she
voices.
changed
Yeah,
she changed the game, bro.
yeah,
Like
like again,
she's like Howard Finkel. Yeah, I mean she might be the best ring announcer, but like I
she
still want to
she
give
she she,
respects. Like
she,
she
she
came
could
in.
probably she could probably ask Triple H for whatever the hell she wants. They'll say, all right.
Nah, she definitely in a different zone right now to the point that they got the other girl on SmackDown. I think her name is Alicia. Or I might be wrong, but
The one they got from NXT, Alicia
yeah,
Taylor, something like that.
yeah, yeah. She alright, but sometimes she be trying to sound too serious and like she just be saying the name. I'll be like, yo, who else? Who out there? Like, you know what I'm saying? She say that shit
But
kind of quick.
this is how you know Samantha's special when you have individuals from all sports putting her up there with the Buffer brothers, the Jimmy Lennon Juniors,
Nah,
the
because again,
voices of
she
the voices of combat sports.
in the world where I feel like if somebody's giving you the responsibility of announcing something, right? It could either go two ways. They giving you the exact way on how to say this shit. Like, yo, here's the card. Read it like this. But now it's up to you to or
Make it
the
your
other,
own.
yeah, make it your own. Throw your flair on it. That's exactly what she did. She's reading the card, but she's just throwing that extra flair on the emphasis of superstars that needed to be. Like when Roman Reigns came out there, you hear her voice get a little bit more serious. Like, and obviously with Chelsea Green, we all know she has fun in the, but even so, it fits with Chelsea Green's character. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
Same with Gunter and Ludwig.
mhm. Like she's saying their names with conviction. Like, oh, nah, these are serious dudes coming to the ring right here. Like, you can't mess with these people right here. So she does a phenomenal job. If she does go to AEW, I'll be surprised. I don't even know if AEW is the landing spot, but like you've been saying, Will Ospreay, Connection, Ricochet, if he goes to AEW and she goes with him, AEW landed a gem. Now I don't know what her
Or
contract is like, but that'd be crazy.
or you told Samantha currently you have WWE, but you also have you'll have access to Netflix, ESPN, Disney, Fox. Here's some big checks coming.
No, those are conversations definitely to be had right there for sure. You know what I'm saying? Jesus, yo, I ain't gonna lie. Drew Holiday. I know this is off topic, but I just seen a tweet from the NBA right now. Drew Holiday, 11 for 14 field goals made, zero turnovers. The man had 26 points. All right, we can touch on it. We're gonna get that basketball. If we got anybody
Yeah.
that love basketball out there, I just wanted that was a tweet sidebar. Yeah, the next match of the night though, Jordan Grace, TNA Knockouts champion versus Roxanne Perez,
My
current
match of the night.
NXT Women's Champion. No, this match was gritty. I'm not gonna lie. I felt like I said, and when you said match of the night, but it wasn't to be disrespectful. It was just like I knew, I just didn't know where. Remember, I said, yo, what if Gail Kim interferes? Like something was telling me in my mind that there's gonna be an interference. I don't know where, but I smell it. Like, but nonetheless, though, I don't know what cut open Jordan Jordan Grace, but it made for a moment. I'm not gonna lie, just seeing some color out there, it made the match more like, oh,
Cause she spat out a good amount.
yeah. I don't know if she had an earring on. The spot that I saw, I don't know if you caught this when she's in the turnbuckle and Roxanne's under her, looking like she's going to deliver the power bomb, and then Jordan's like, nah, nah. She grabs her hair, and then Roxanne pulls her. Her
Yep,
head kind of went fast, like
that's what I
like
was thinking.
yeah. And I was looking at that turnbuckle. I was like, oh, I see a little bit of the the buckles exposed over there. You know what I'm saying? Not intentionally, like the ladies didn't do it intentionally, but throughout the course of the night, it looked like that padding might have slipped, and yeah, it looked like it might have caught her. I don't know if she had an earring on or it was just that contact. But I was thinking that spot. You was thinking that spot too, right there.
Yeah, because it looked a little wonky and kind of caught off guard for a little bit. But I'm gonna say this: this was probably Roxanne's best match that she's ever had in
I
NXT.
I can agree with that. I feel like Roxanne, she's a smaller female. She looks young. I feel like when she was first introduced to the universe, like she had like this young vibe to her, right? Like now we're seeing a, a more seasoned, if I may, a more seasoned Roxanne Perez, and it showed this evening. You know what I'm saying? Definitely in her bag. I knew she could play a heel. She just came to NXT and they had her doing mostly face stuff. You know what I'm saying? She got the appeal to marketing. You know what I'm saying? But right now, I think she's firing on all cylinders with her work. Having Jordan as the opponent on the other side, it only made for magic. It was a win-win. We getting this like for Jordan, she got the exposure. She's already a champion. So not winning this championship, it doesn't lessen the TNA Knockouts championship at all. And then we seen, like I said, there was interference. So again, nothing to be mad at there.
I was very intrigued with the fact that they're, like I said, they're blending in stories from TNA onto NXT programming. Uh, Ash by a legend, whatever her name is in TNA, formerly Dana Brooke, is currently in a rivalry with Jordan Grace. And what was the other name? Tatum Paxley.
Yep.
She's been eyeballing Jordan Grace's title since the Rumble.
Yeah, so you seeing these
And
two females. What was this? Who was the second one that came out?
that was Dana Brooke.
That was Dana Brooke. Okay, okay. Yeah,
Yeah.
so they
Ash
called
by
her.
Evans.
Did they mention her on there by name? I didn't catch if what
Yeah,
they
so
called her on there.
Vic first called her Dana Brooke. He stopped halfway and then said TNA star Ash by Elegance.
Okay. Yeah,
But
so
you had
they
to
had
forget that she ain't Dana Brooke no more, boys.
it's good to
But
see
it's
her getting her feet wet in the company again too. Like, you know what I'm saying? I feel like she was part of that unfortunate group that got let go for no reason.
yeah.
I don't remember what crop of group, but I know when she got released, it was kind of a surprise to me because she was definitely putting in work in WWE
Oh
at
yeah.
that moment in time. Like she was just getting like sh- I feel like she's always been athletic, but she was just understanding her role in WWE a bit better. Like, and I was enjoying more of her work there that they let her ass go.
She's she's been killing it in TNA.
I haven't been keeping up with too much of her stuff. Like I said, it's not purposely. I just haven't like when I watch wrestling, I usually watch it on my cable box. So whatever I got access to, that's what I'm watching. Like I got access to AEW and WWE. If I can't find it, then I gotta look on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, that match though, you said it was match of the night for you. I would have it
Yeah.
as definitely runner up match of the night for me. If it wasn't for the me being over biased, I have an over bias right now. I think he might be one of my favorites in NXT without me even knowing it. And I'm not gonna lie, when he popped up and won the championship, I was like, who the fuck is this guy, bro?
As were many.
Like the same way I'm asking who the fuck is Dante Chen. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, shout out to Jordan Grace and Roxanne Perez. Big
Yeah.
shout out to Jordan Grace though, because I feel like she worked hard her whole career. Like I've been watching her for a minute. I'm not gonna lie. Like, you know, body transformation is one thing. I don't really want to get into it, but obviously she looked one way and now she's chiseled to the point that she is now. Hard work.
She
That's
she's
one.
been
Hard
she's
work.
been living she's been living in the gym.
Yeah, shout out to her and her husband, Mr. Gresham. You know what I'm saying? They've been
But
at it
also,
together. I remember seeing them in the gym, the pictures, the transformations. It was crazy.
but
You know
also
what I'm saying?
Roxanne, I was very impressed with that the fact that she was not afraid to get as physical with Jordan, with her being significantly smaller.
That's what I was concerned about. I'm like, man, how do you make? Because this is my thing. I'm gonna be honest. When you got the David versus Goliath story, like you speaking of, how do you make Goliath lose, right? But also because sometimes they'll have them scenarios where you'll have a fucking David win over a Goliath, and it don't look like it should have happened. You know what I'm saying?
But with her, it made sense because again, she stayed the aggressor. She kept slapping the dog shit out of her, kept working the arm, trying to make it more painful for her.
Again,
And
going back to the blood, I feel like the color did something for that too. Like she's able to really display, keep going with that mean streak throughout the whole match, and it's like, oh no, like you said, she's on one. Like, you know what I'm saying? Definitely fire right there. Main event of the evening: Trick Williams, Trick Willie, Trick Willie Will versus All Ego Ethan Page. Man, I got shit I want to say. I know you want to get into it. I want to get into it too. Title reigns, the match itself, the debut.
the music,
Man, what you felt about the music? I looked at the screen and then I looked back at the monitor over here and looked at my basketball. To be honest, I was just like, uh, nothing, nothing stood out to me in terms of like, oh, that's something to listen to. Maybe I gotta hear it again. When
yeah.
Trick Williams came out, you know, it's whoop that trick. Uh-huh. I like it. Yeah. That got it right there. Like,
Calm down, Uncle Buck.
man, the fact that he made that part of like, now that's part of the entrance, that's part of the spiel. Like, uh-huh. I like it. Like, I'm just, man, I'm waiting for him to just be in the remix cut of the song. Like,
You know it's coming.
it got to, man. The opening match, I didn't really enjoy the chemistry between them in the beginning, the striking. I remember like what I saw from there was like, okay, so Trick Williams is on the offense, and here goes Ethan Page trying to like sneak in these body shots, but like it wasn't like, to me, I didn't digest it like, oh, he's sneaking in body shots. It was more like poor timing. Like they just didn't have the classic when a face strikes and you get the cheer and then the boo. It just didn't seem like one of those moments. Maybe it wasn't intended to be. Maybe that's just how Ethan Page just operates. Like he just sneaks in those little weird ones. But to me, I didn't really enjoy that. The little moment when Trick threw him from the corner, the little jump right before the Irish whip to the other corner. I'm like, yeah, they doing a little, too much right now. Like, in those moments, the
Yeah.
less is more could have worked for me right there.
And that's a mix of Ethan trying to make a good impression versus Trick showing his slight inexperience. So that was, yeah. You're always going to be an uphill battle from there.
Right. Because I feel like there was either, like, again, if that spot was supposed to go, but to me, there was no communication. If, like, okay, you the aggressor for, 3 or 4 strikes, and then I get my off. But to me, it looked like it was supposed to be a back and forth offensive strike moment, like we traditionally accustomed to seeing. Maybe like not I think like the speed of it would have still been fast. I don't think it would have been one of those slow, like they weren't fatigued yet. It's the beginning of the match, right? Like, but I just think again the angle, the poor timing from Ethan and Trick, it might have been overzealousness from Trick as well, throwing them strikes a little too soon, right? Like, I don't know, like, but there was something there. But throughout the match started to like, okay, they soothed them. They soothed into it. Started looking more like a regular match. I not to shit on this. I don't put this as main event caliber match. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the women probably should have main evented this time. Yeah, again, Trick is an experience. It, had they taken the belt off him, I kind of wouldn't have been mad because, again, is Trick ready for that limelight right now? Yeah, he's got a movement, but is he there?
Now again, it's tricky because I feel like this Ethan Page match was just sprung on us, right? Like literally, like over the course of this week, he just popped. Like over the course of 2 weeks, I say 2 weeks, but this week we got more of a clarity of okay, you're challenging for the NXT championship. So
Yeah, and even when it debuted, we kind of had a feeling about it, but still, it's like a little sudden. And folks naturally didn't agree to that.
and right now, Ethan Page is from what I'm gonna just say from his WWE ring work. I feel like he has athleticism. I've seen that he could be a technician in other places. I want to see how his like right now. It like again, I'm gonna say it wasn't main event level. Maybe he should be challenging for the North American Championship. Him and Oba might be interested. It looked like he got unfinished business with Aura Mensa with No Amdar, so he might be in a program with them soon.
And I'm surprised they didn't interfere in this match
I thought that's what was gonna happen, to be
because
honest.
it felt something was missing from this match, and that you could have incorporated that. You could have had Lash come out to try to like sway Trick, thus giving us maybe a sort of victory or whatever, or maybe possible not so clean finish, something that
Even
might
yeah,
that might have saved this.
and even in a world where all right, Lash Legend is with Aura in the group, right? So Aura going in attacking Ethan Page, whether he wins by disqualification, championship doesn't change hands. They got something there.
Or
Ethan
another
Page could always come back down the line.
ref spot.
Ref spot, insert ref spot. You know what I'm saying? You could have
And they
did a
come
few
in
things with this.
whenever. Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't want to end the main event on a DQ, so I understand that. So we could insert the ref spot for sure. This is again why I say to me this isn't really it wasn't main event level build. I see
But
the only thing it was the debut match. I could come take the title, and I just came fresh from somewhere else. That was the only aspect. The in ring work. I felt like it didn't really wow me. Their styles together.
no, there. But again, you took away the whole purpose behind the match because this is entirely based on him beating up Metaphor and then attacking Trick. So therefore, Metaphor has a dog in both races.
They
They
have
had every right
incentive,
to. They had every right to interfere in this match.
every cause and incentive to get their hands dirty.
Give Trick some kind of complex. Maybe have him join Ethan
How?
Page. Something, anything.
How? You even fucking you could use that time to build up aura too. Like to me, he's just a dude in the group with no like with no Amdar. Like I know
Yeah.
he's nice, but the way just like, oh yeah, I see you just having fun with these guys. Like it's a way to break a mean streak from him too. Especially Ethan Page. It's like Ethan Page is a hell of a talent. So whether you win or lose that feud, just being in that feud could do something.
No, again, even if it leads to a DQ finish, then he could have that drama with or Trick had kind of drama with Lash and all that. Ethan could still be the thorn in his side, or she could be joined with Ethan or whatever, anything in between.
Yeah, because Ethan wins by DQ, he could still say, "Well, Trick, I got the win over you. I got the win over you. All I'm missing is the NXT Championship." Now, do we want to see the spin back? Maybe not soon enough, but again, he gets through that shit with Aura first, and then eventually you get back down the line with them.
Mm-hmm.
But again, missed opportunity. It's looking like this was just done. I think personally, it was just done to like boost up the views of the PLE, driving more eyes, more talk about, and it served its purpose. To be honest, since Ethan Page's arrival, that was something I've been keeping an eye on. It'd be interesting to see where he goes from here, where Trick goes from here.
Yeah, let's give this a few more weeks, see how it goes. But it's got promise, but again, it all depends on how they incorporate with everything else.
I
Who's
think,
on whose side?
yeah, one of the things we were talking about beforehand too, Trick Williams, his title run. I'm not giving up on it, but I feel like this is the championship on NXT. This is the one that what are you gonna do with it now? You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see you caught up in a love triangle storyline while holding the main championship. Like it's nice you on programming
I
with
mean,
your wife,
I
but
mean that part's fine and all, but it's like at least incorporate that in the match we're getting in the main event because that's part of why they're having the
that's what I'm
match.
saying. It's a missed opportunity. It's empty. You right, it did feel empty because in the back of my mind, I'm sitting there like, bro, why they showed us the video of Aura attacking Ethan before the main event started. So you already got me like, okay, there's beef here.
We
Like,
know he's there.
yeah, like okay, and then a clean finish, and I feel like the clean finish didn't make Trick look any stronger,
it
and it
was it
didn't
was
make
fine.
it didn't make
It
Ethan
was
look
fine.
any less. But again, I'm more for the story. I'm more for the building of the story. I think this didn't do anything for any furthering of their story. It just put a conclusion on it, but you could have still built on the other story, like we're mentioning with him, with Lash, Aura,
Now,
no him.
now that could happen later on, but they could have gained so much ground here and they just stayed stagnant.
Yeah, so it was a pretty much like decent match throughout, and Trick Williams hits the Uranagi, the rock bottom, the bookend, whatever you want to call it. He gets the victory. Sexy Rag comes out, see her in the ring. Um, I'm not gonna lie. I thought when they first started announcing her appearances, I thought she was gonna look cringy on WWE programming. I've seen worse in terms of people that look like they either don't want to be there, don't belong there. She looked like she enjoys her time there. She's having fun. You know what I'm saying? Might need
and
more preparation for the WWE cameras, but that's a whole nother story. You know what I'm saying? She's having fun.
and it definitely shows that NXT is steering away from PG.
Oh yeah, I felt like she was out there showing a little, you know what I'm saying? Showing a lot.
like,
Showing a little, showing a
like,
lot.
like I said, they knew what they were getting when they booked her.
Mm. So overall, how you felt about the whole pay-per-view in itself? I mean, like if we did our own rating system, I'd say 5 stars is good. How you feel out of 5?
Eh, three and a half, 4. It was fine.
Okay.
Nothing too crazy for the
I'm
most
gonna
part on average.
I'm gonna be honest, aside from the Jordan Grace and Roxanne Perez match, this whole card could have been done on a regular NXT special event. You know how they do those? It's still done on a regular NXT day, but it's like a bash or a Halloween
Right? Yeah.
Havoc. One of those. I'm not saying a regular NXT episode, but this could have been done on regular programming and boosted the views of what they on right now. USA.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they could have did something there. Because again, for me, Trick Williams versus Ethan Page wasn't nothing serious. A quick surprise match like that didn't even have a whole real. It didn't really have a whole week and a half build up to it. You know what I'm saying? Um, with that being said, you could have just really just sprung that upon with the stipulations they had. Oh, sign this contract. You could have did that on a regular, you know, Jordan
The
Grace.
match could be tonight for all we know.
Yeah, Jordan Grace and Perez. I feel like that was a money match.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I said Obafemi and Wesley and Kofi was match of the night, I also feel like this is something like they still don't have that appeal to main event yet either.
This is
So
the, this is something that also could have opened the show as well, just to get
yeah,
everybody started, riled up.
yep. So yeah, they could have went without Gallows and Anderson, but obviously, that match has the tag team championships in it, and I take that back. I think the women's championship it had a place on the PLE because of the stipulation for it and it being a new championship. So I guess I'll take that back. I forgot I had that on the list right there, but I was just reading. I was doing opposite. I was reading it from the main event backwards. You know what I'm saying? So I kind of
Yeah.
forgot to open the match right there. So I'll take that back, Chad. The two women's matches. He said it earlier. Evolution 2.
Let's start planning it.
Because those two women matches, you even had Shayna and Lola in that underground match. Like that could have been something special too, like we spoke on. So they really showcased three phenomenal woman matches, two with stipulations, one a title match, actually two a title match, two matches stipulation, and one a regular singles championship match. I'm happy with
Within
that booking for them.
within the next 18 months, that division gonna be deep.
Yeah. The only thing I wish that we seen I don't want to say there's no effort on the Raw and SmackDown, but the way that some of the talent is presented, like we could get into it, but I like the thing that Tiffany Stratton doing with Nia. Only if it leads into Tiffany Stratton eventually screwing over Nia Jax. If she's just
Probably.
doing this to be up her ass and then get squashed, what are we doing? Like
Again,
it
we'll
might
see how
hurt
it plays out.
Tiffany. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Might not, but I like the creativity that they did right there in terms of the match styles for these females and the overall presentation for them. You know what I'm saying? So I'm giving it. I think I could round it at a 3 out of 5. 3 out of 5. Just keep it at 3. I do point fives. That's when I really want to like. You know what I'm saying? Either be stingy or I don't
How,
want to give it a 5 yet because it ain't cracked the.
yeah, how generous you want to be?
What happened?
Said, how generous do you want to be?
Oh yeah. I'm being. I feel like the deduction on a point five to me would be on the fact that, like I said, only two of these matches for me were really like, okay, I really want to see the outcome of this.
Yeah.
The Obafemi, I felt like I knew I could have been wrong, and if they would have had him drop the title, I would have still found this match of the night and still said, wow, that was crazy because their match was crazy. So at the ending point, either man could have won and I could have seen, like, oh, yeah, all right, this was a fucking, you know what I'm saying? This was a match right here. But like I said, two matches I wanted to see, so they get a 3 from me right there. I think that's it for the night right there. There's any little sidebar backstage segments that I missed? Any news for future NXT events that I might have missed?
Just a whole lot of sexy red twerking.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's right. She did have Lola Vice and the commentator or the interviewer twerking backstage. That was funny. A little fun spot right there. But we could get on to before we wrap up for the night though, we could talk about some NBA Finals game 2. Dallas Mavericks versus the Boston Celtics. Um Kyrie Irving, my brother, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro. The next time y'all in Boston, if y'all don't get swept, you need to go crazy. I feel like you're gonna go crazy at home in Dallas. You like it's the love. Unless Dallas turns on you and they start like booing you while you miss your first two shots or some shit, then that might rattle you, bro. You might get rattled. I'm not gonna lie. We might see Kyrie Irving traded if he start getting booed, bro. But here's the operative but. And Luka, you've been playing out your mind. I'm not gonna lie. Luka shouldn't. This is just like LeBron James type shit. Luka, you shouldn't have to be working. Like I'm not saying they shouldn't have to be working this hard for a championship, but when you out there hobbling,
folks got him ruled out of the game.
I thought he was done. Like questionable. They listen to him questionable. Like if he was anything, not saying Tyrese Halliburton is whatever, but we seen what Tyrese Halliburton did in Indiana. He's like, nah, I'm not playing against the Celtics. We lost game one. I think I'm done for the series. I thought Luka was gonna mail it in, bro.
Everybody has a different level of pain threshold. Luka, he's tired of losing. He wants this. To him, he needs this.
And I think his style of play too. Like I really think that Kyrie Irving is in his head, in his own head.
Yeah,
Like
I'm
not
telling
in
you,
he's because the thing is he's playing good basketball for like a Derek Fish. This is no disrespect. I'm just talking in terms of number. Maybe even like he above Derek Fisher, but we can't forget that Derek Fisher got about like 4 or 5 rings with Kobe. Almost every ring Kobe got, Derek Fisher got it with him. So I'm not saying that in a slouch way, but what I'm saying is Kyrie's a 30-point bucket getter, and he's been out here scoring 15 points.
He's doing pickup game ball.
He's doing passive basketball shit that they kill LeBron for. But the difference is when they kill LeBron for it, he's still going out there and scoring 26. Still getting to the line. Like, I ain't gonna lie, Boston, the way they're playing bigger than Dallas right now. Like, Porzingis is one person, but that one dude is making it easier for Horford to play even bigger. Like, Horford is playing like free. Like, yeah, I got a big body here with me.
Kyrie, do you want this? That's all we ask.
I think he wants it. Too bad though. You want it so bad that you overthinking it. I feel because like Luka's playing like, bro, I ain't got nothing to lose, bro. If we go like y'all down 30 and Luka bring y'all down within 8, bro. What the fuck?
And Kyrie's been there. He knows to just chill.
Yeah, bro. And you got a teammate right now that maybe against this team, y'all styles are clashing. Like, instead of playing passive, y'all need to kill them on the. And I don't know if it's coaching, because I seen Jason Kidd say in the first game, "Oh, we doing too much ISO basketball." I don't think ISO is the problem. You could mix in pick P and R's or picks and fades, but people got to be ready to execute. I done seen Dallas miss too many shots. Too many. It's not about the style of play y'all presenting. Y'all missing y'all shots, bro. Y'all could present what y'all want. Yeah, if Luka is the only person making shots, what's gonna happen? And it's hard to defend a team that got so much firepower, bro. Like you gotta do that. You got a few dudes that could drop 20 points in like a handful, like in 2 hands full of minutes. Like that's crazy. And they defend well too. Like people say what they want, that Porzingis, his injuries, Jason Tatum ain't as good as Brown, but that don't change the fact that the whole team chips in. I was just saying it earlier while we was talking about Battleground. Drew Holiday, 11 for 14, 26 points.
Monster.
Where's his name in the point guard conversation at? People seem to forget he won that championship with the Bucks. Or like they don't even choose to forget that. It's just, oh yeah, he locked up, but they look at it like more like the Phoenix Suns folded. So how we gonna look at Boston now? Did Dallas? Well, I guess that's the narrative, right? Kyrie folded.
Where is his head? Because Boston is going to come to kill in Dallas. It can't be just Luka there on his own.
It can't be, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you. If Kyrie Irving does not show up in Dallas in
It's a wrap.
game four, I need somebody to box his shoes up, box
At
some
least
extra
game 3.
jerseys. No, I'm talking about get ready to send him out of town. Get his locker room cleared. This is your last game in a Dallas jersey. And I'm sorry, it has nothing to do with Luka Doncic being hurt. It has nothing to do with that they don't have a good team to play in the finals. Everybody had Dallas winning or hoping that Dallas wins. So
But
when we
everyone knew that Boston is going to be the tough one. They are the fresher team.
because I'm not going to the reason I say trade Kyrie Irving if they lose is because if he's not going to be the 2 guard, Luka Doncic needs to be the all the time guard on that team. That's just it. No experimenting, no, oh yeah, because he's like, nah, we need Luke, like Luka needs to kind of be like a LeBron out there on the floor where, yeah, we know you're a small forward, but you're the facilitator, you're the scorer of this team. So most of the touches, your usage rate should be way far, it shouldn't be split. You know what I'm trying to say? Like you shouldn't have to be splitting possessions with Kyrie because of your household name at this point. But I say this though, round 1, round 2, Kyrie Irving was putting on, so I might be speaking empty, but Chris Paul was also putting on in round 1 and round 2 and folded in the finals. And look where you know how his image is now. So
Shall see.
do you feel like Boston could potentially sweep these guys?
Given how one side has been performing, yes. And that's what's scary about it.
I feel like that's what I don't want to see as a fan. I was like, I think the conversation was, yo, we're gonna see this masterful basketball, and literally we're just seeing it from one and a half side. Like one being the Boston and the half being Luca. I can't even say Dallas. The Luca. Can't even say Dallas. Luca. Your face tells it all right there.
It's ugly. Like I said, it can't be him.
And it's sad because I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't have Luca dropping as many points as he was gonna do, bro.
You haven't putting his life on the line. I thought the team wanted to win a championship. Was it just him? Like I said, if he doesn't win this year, I can see him telling Dallas, "Get me out of here."
You did say that, and I can also agree with that now too. With the way that things are seeming to unfold, even if Kyrie gets traded, I can see a world where Lucas says, "Bro, I don't care what y'all do, bro. I don't care if you keep him, trade him. Like I want out, bro. I want out." I can see that. I can see that because this is almost a la LeBron versus San Antonio, with the exception that Luka actually has a star. LeBron had nobody. What was his all-star was Ilgauskas. Like, I'm not gonna lie, Ilgauskas was an all-star, yeah. But Kyrie is somebody we consider almost top 75 player of all time. Like some made that argument. Some still make the argument Kyrie better than Curry.
He could be.
His style can be for sure.
Again,
Shout out to my man Cap though. People love the sexy. So both could give you 30 points. But because Kyrie should coming off of crossing you up and reverse layups, mixed in with mid-range post up, mixed in with a three-pointer as to where Curry, that nigga just shooting nigga pull up like from 40. It might give you a little layup here and there, but you know where his points is coming from. Like off balance fuckery.
Mm-hmm. Ain't nothing you can do about it either.
Yeah, so it's the sexy. People feel like the Kyrie game is more, which to a certain degree, it might be more harder to break down your opponent as to just go to a spot on the floor. But both are hard to do. You can't make unless you walk that life. One can't like you know what I'm saying. We can't say because he's great at shooting threes. It's easy to just walk up the court and shoot it in NBA players' faces. Like that's unfair. Everybody be doing it. You know what I'm saying? And there's only like 3 people in the league that can do that shit. Curry, Lillard, and maybe a James Harden, maybe somebody else. So it's like that's a small sample size for so many people in the NBA. That's why again I say where does Drew Holiday put his name at in a world where everything is so sexy? We just care about the dudes that their games are fucking like marketable. So like just keep it real, like their games are marketable, like as to where like a fundamentally sound player, yeah,
A game that's more for the purists.
pure like Tim Duncan. I feel like he gets his respect, but then people like still not mentioning him is a lack of respect to me sometimes. Like people want to mention other people, like Charles Barkley or whatever, whatever's powerful in his position, Kevin Garnett's and all of these people, like dudes that probably got 1 chip, 2 chip, but he's sitting there with 5 of them things. What? Like that's crazy. And got a winning percentage in the finals.
Just different breed.
Mm-hmm. Because I'm more of a realist. Like I stopped with the fandom shit. There was times where when I was younger, I thought he had the ugliest game. Like Tim Duncan, all he do is shoot off the backboard. Like he just stand there, like that was the young ignorance, not knowing like, nah, this dude is really like on some IQ shit that like he know his angle off the backboard. He knows like how to manipulate the game like on a different level. And I started to appreciate greatness. Like people play fandom. Again, we take it back. I say this about AEW, WWE. Stop with the fandom, the tribalism. That shit needs to stop. It's okay to be a fan of Coke, but if you have a valid reason. I don't like how Pepsi tastes. I legit don't like how Pepsi tastes. I enjoy Coca-Cola more. Some people might not like how Coca-Cola tastes and they enjoy Pepsi. That's cool. I do enjoy other portions of Pepsi. I like Pepsi Lime. The little flavors they got. It's okay. It's not to say, Pepsi's not for me. Fuck them. You know what I'm saying? That's not how I operate. I'm giving everything a shot, but I'm gonna give you valid reason and points to why I don't like what I like. I'm not just gonna say shit and just say it to go with the masses. You know what I'm saying? And that's why this finals, I feel like for me, I'm playing both sides of the coin. Like I did want Kyrie Irving to come out on top, but I also have to be in that real world where it's like he didn't bring it upon himself. Like I didn't hear him publicly say anything like, I'm gonna go kill Boston. But I'm dating this back to when you left LeBron James, brother. And you wanted to run your own team and win your own championships. This is part of that, unfortunately. You can't erase that in our eyes. Like for me as a fan, like I was really rooting for you and LeBron. I bought Cleveland merch. Like
Look at all the
what I'm
teams.
saying?
Look at all the teams you had a privilege of being on. These incredible rosters. How many chances are you going to get?
And again, to me, it's like, yes, he's apologized to LeBron for whatever he's done before. But like you said, going to stack teams. We talked about this about 3 episodes ago about what's the percentages for big threes winning championships or even getting to the finals. And LeBron James, the last, with the exception of the Lakers, the last two, and the Lakers didn't even have a big three. You just had him and AD. If you want to consider having Dwight Howard a big three, when they got Dwight Howard, they won that year. So, but every other team that Kyrie or Kevin Durant has went to has not made the finals. So those brothers, unfortunately, they're gonna be scrutinized. I feel like for me, my scrutinized with Kevin Durant stopped this year too with the Phoenix Suns. Like, all right, you in that bracket where, nah, I mean, like that shit ain't work for you either, brother. Kyrie, he almost had us. He's like, yo, I'm still in the fight. So now, just the other day, we were saying they got 3 games left to fight back. Now they only got 2 games left to fight back.
It's all or nothing.
All or nothing at home. Like that's crazy. This Drake curse, the Drake curse is living.
Telling you, it's getting a
Drake, my
little
brother.
wild.
Drake, my brother. I think I'm gonna need you to because you could do this when as soon as this NBA Finals ends right now. I need you to place your bet
On
on the
Tatum.
on the next championship. You know what I'm saying? No, on the who's gonna be in the NBA Finals for 2025, and who you think is gonna win the championship, bro. Just so that there's no discrepancies, we could get this curse out the air, and the season unfolds. How picking the team right when they get to the finals, man, that's never a good call. It's never a good call. I'll be honest, I felt that way with Phoenix. Everybody said Phoenix in 5 and got
I was one of
disappointed.
them.
Phoenix, yeah.
I
I'm
was one
not
of
gonna
them.
lie. I thought Giannis, with the exception of him getting, cause I think people forget too. This is when his knee bent back and in that same playoffs. Not that series. It happened, I think, 2 series prior. I forgot who they were playing, but he had that freak accident. It might have been the Nets that his knee went back, and I was just like, he hyperextended it. I was like, bro, I don't know if he could win, but if he could play healthy, I believe that the Bucks could do it. And I'm mad that at that time I ain't placed no bets in, bro. Cause I would have came up. They were down on the odds, like bad, like nobody was fucking with them. I'm like, shit, man, they would have been a come up right there. I gotta see. Let me look up real quick. When's the next game between them? Kristaps Porzingis, man, he's that factor. He's that definite factor we've all been saying he's gonna be, bro. And I don't think he's slowing down.
Not at all.
Let me see how much he had for the night. Porzingis had 12. That's not bad because even though he had 12 in less minutes, I'm pretty sure that his presence out there affected. Like, but yeah, the Mavericks started off strong. You know what I'm saying? But again,
He's
it's
worn him
affected.
down.
Yeah, it's something else that they got to worry about right there. Looking at the schedule, the next game is on Wednesday, 8:30. So AEW is gonna have stiff competition this Wednesday. Um, Lining up against the NBA Finals, Game 3 of the NBA Finals.
What time's tip off?
Tip off might be 8:15. I don't got an exact time on here, but the game time 8:30. So what I'm saying, they got 30 minutes to spare before things go left for them right there.
Oh boy.
What else we got? Let's see what we got to look forward to for WWE. What's the big storyline you think we got going into Monday? You think it's gonna be some more Liv and Dom stuff that can add on to the Drew Priest match.
Oh, but of course.
Mm. Yeah, so it's looking like we got two shows that's gonna lead us into Clash. I don't really expect nothing else of significance outside of what we just spoke on. Dom Liv being added to that in terms of like more progression in the storyline. You feel anything else of significance gets added to Clash? Maybe stipulations. We pretty much set with that card, and
Yeah, maybe the SmackDown Tag Championships, if anything, but yeah.
okay. Anybody that's a free agent currently that we might have to show they could possibly show up on Tuesday NXT.
Time will tell. Well, we'll probably know a little bit after Clash,
Okay.
or that we'll have an idea maybe that weekend, because this weekend New Japan will be announcing the first 18 entrants of the G1.
Oh wait, I know you hype, man.
Mm-hmm.
I know you are hype.
I'm also concerned with how many AEW guys we'll see.
Two, the two that's fighting for the spots.
Well, the winner gets a shot at the IWGP Heavyweight Championship at Wrestle Kingdom.
Mm,
So there's a chance we could see two AEW guys for that belt main eventing the Tokyo Dome.
that's crazy. So partnership, huh?
And they're in a weird spot right now.
Cause
Not a lot.
Tanahashi fuck with Tony Khan, so
Yeah, and he's trying to just keep her. He's trying to just keep the peace and all that. But it's like, think of the bigger picture of things. Is the money really worth them using you guys as a feeder system?
I mean, I could say, from my opinion, AEW has devalued Ring of Honor. Their working promotion, in my opinion, has done nothing for New Japan. Like, in my eyes, there was nothing special about somebody from America that can just easily win or just contend for a championship from New Japan. I was more impressed when you earned it. Like, you went out there and there was stories that you had to be at the dojos. Like, you really had to earn them ranks and them spots. Not I'm not saying that it's not like that still, but what it's appearing as is that whatever's best for business can take place there
The
in
last
that
one there
working
was
relationship.
the last one I did that was Brock Lesnar.
Mm. Earned them stripes going there the rugged way. Like, he took on
No, just
Shinsuke.
walked in and got the belt.
Okay, so all right, I see what you're saying. Like, yeah, it was that bad of a time where he just came in and whipped on Shinsuke and Kurt Angle. Um, I'm probably missing somebody else because I feel like he took somebody else out that they were unhappy with. But I can't. It doesn't ring my head right now. But yeah, I do remember that red trunk guy looking Brock Lesnar. That one had me because I think that's one of the things that was like shocking to me too. Like, I be telling people, like, some of the greats travel to Japan. Like, honestly, I think sometimes, like, if you leave WWE, I don't want to really see you go to AEW. I want to see you sharpen your sword in Japan.
Or Mexico, see what you can really do.
Yeah, even in Impact, only because I feel like they've been around longer. But if I had to go outside of the states, it'd definitely be Japan and like you said, Mexico. So AAA, CMLL. So you know what I'm saying. Even if you got a monster run on the Indies, but just at a pace that you like when Cody did that list, I think that was one of the most smartest things he could have done.
Well, the Indies are a little bit different than they are now, but it's
Hmm.
like
Everybody's
don't
getting
go
hip to contracts and shit, right?
don't go just anywhere just for the sake of going. Make again, invest in yourself. Have yourself at a certain standard.
Yeah, I mean, like if they're in a position that they can position themselves to be that, like I'm the brand, and I can show up where I want and not be tied down. Then more power to them. You know what I'm saying? But like you said, they got to make the right decision. Just if you're gonna leave WWE, if you're gonna leave main stage, you got to be done to better self, sharpen the sword. You know what I'm saying? Iron sharpens iron. Not saying there's no iron in AEW, but the usage rate of how, like, you know what I'm saying? There's like, again, Japan dojos, Mexico, they got their own ways of training. In AEW, I don't really know what's the development like. So if you're not being used, what are you doing? That's the question mark for me. You know what I'm saying?
We got a long way to go.
Hell yeah, but I think we good. We good right there. That was NXT Battleground, Las Vegas, out the UFC Apex. I think we didn't really touch on the presentation. I don't think it was bad. It kind of looked like what they would do in the NXT Full Sail setting. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, it's a bit bigger. Um,
It, it's a smaller place.
you think so? No,
It's,
so
it's
big.
it seats less than 1,000.
Okay, yeah, so I can see that.
So
At
it's like
least
800 900. It's like 800 900 people.
okay, they did a good job making it look
'Cause-
like.
'cause even
Mhm.
Booker was complaining about how small it was throughout the show.
Mm, Booker's funny as hell. I'm not gonna lie, man. So it's looking like it's a smaller venue than Full Sail, but on presentation, like I feel like I didn't really catch much of that, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? I couldn't really. It felt like a normal NXT PLE. It felt more intimate, if anything. It didn't really take away in terms of crowd experience. Like we still heard the crowd. We still heard some chants. You fucked up. You know what I'm saying? We got some chants out from the crowd, so it was cool to get that little different intimate experience right there from NXT. I wonder if they'll go back to that kind of style. Like maybe this is something. This is a way to incorporate UFC with WWE. You have NXT be the like little olive branch right there, the little bridge right there between NXT and UFC. They could possibly make that a little home right there. They little Vegas home at least. Like you know what I'm saying? They won't have to rent out a big venue from Vegas or anything. They don't got to do a Legion for NXT. Obviously, they don't wouldn't have that to fill the capacity. But you know what I'm saying? Apex Vegas, not a bad spiel for them. Good selling point.
And Vegas is also the current home of TNA.
Mm, that's nice too. Great for their working relationship. Definitely great for their working relationship right there. Yeah, and also it's good to see NXT on the road. Like even though it didn't really feel too much of a, like again, intimate, it's a small setting, so it didn't really feel like nothing crazy. But NXT on the road outside of Florida and Vegas doing a thing. You know what I'm saying? Putting on a show. So that's cool to see right there. Yeah, we good, y'all. Razor, you want to say anything before we get up out of here?
No, we're good, man.
Man, it's good when we ain't have to assassinate y'all. You know what I'm saying? Y'all got to live into the next one. Y'all good. Off the hip, y'all. Unwelcome your thoughts. HD Razor. We out of here.